Very quick one on this. If cos y is negative and the sin y is also negative, in what quadrant will y be? We have to find this is a trigonometry question, and it came for WASSCE September 2024. What is the quadrant? When we draw our Cartesian plane, this is going to be positive y, this will be positive x, here will be negative y, and here will be negative x. Any point that will be in this place will be a first quadrant. So we know this is going to be the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. Now, if we have this all, meaning all the trig ratios, the cos, the sine, and tan, they are all positive here. So let's see if I have this being drawn with the x-axis as a reference point, having the angle. Let me use a y since we are using xy, so let me use an angle. We will use the y letter. So this is the angle. This is going to be parallel to the y-axis, so we have y as positive, x radius. If we draw a circle through that, you have the length, that slant height, to become the radius. All right. So let's see if I have the cos of that angle. The cos is, let's introduce that. We have so ka tua, right? So if I'm dealing with, we have the adjacent hypotenuse. The adjacent will be x, hypotenuse will be what? R. So that will give you positive. If I am going to deal with the sine, sine is going to be what? So opposite hypotenuse, opposite to the angle, y and what? R. You can see all will give you positive. I'm going to concentrate on the sine and the cos, leaving the tan, since I need just to deal with the two ratios. So let's see if I move to the second quadrant, still using x-axis as what? The reference point. This will be y, this will be negative x, because we are having a negative value here. Right away, your cos will be theta equals to the adjacent side, negative x, divided by what? So it means that in the second quadrant, you'll be having sine here. The cos here will be negative. If you have a cos angle, it will be negative. So let's see, we have sine theta, which is going to be opposite hypotenuse. So y r. So you can see that cos will be negative here, sine will be negative, positive here. That's the second quadrant. Let's pick the third quadrant. Still using the x-axis as the reference point. I can have my cos of that angle equals to, before then, this is going to be negative, negative. Look at it. Y is negative. So if this line is parallel to y, it will be negative. That will be negative x. So cos is going to be cut, right? Adjacent. Opposite adjacent. So minus x. We have our r. Then the sine will also be the opposite side. Then we have the adjacent. That is OH. Opposite. Minus y r. So you can see both the cos and sine are going to be negative in this very word quadrant. Let's take the last one and see. Going to be here. So we are going to have positive x, negative y, then the radius. So cos of that angle is going to be opposite. So we are looking for adjacent. X, r. Sine of that angle, opposite, r. So you can see in the first quadrant, both will be positive. So that is not what the question is saying. Second quadrant, cos will be negative, sine will be positive. We are not looking for that. In the third quadrant, both the cos and the sine are what? The negative. So it means that the y that we are looking for will be in the third quadrant. So this is where our solution is going to be. You can see this is the first quadrant, both positive. Here, negative, positive. Here, negative, negative. Positive, negative. So you can see that it is only in the third quadrant that both the cos and the sine will become what? Negative. Again, this explains the concept into this. This could take you actually less than a minute to spot the answer, but because of tutorial reasons, hence we go a longer way to arrive at the answer. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.